Mojocat Creative Services presents The History of Barbecue. Once upon a time, way back in the caveman days, shortly after we discovered fire, someone had the great idea to put the day's catch on the fire. It was tasty. But those people in the West Indies were putting their fish up on racks above the fire, according to a bunch of Spanish guys who happened to run across them in their leisurely travels throughout the world. They called this practice Barbacoa. And then in the 1700s, people like George Washington were building smokehouses in their backyard and having these big barbecues with all their friends and eating all this great food, and it was quite the social event. Sometimes they'd even break out the whiskey. And then there was this guy named Henry Ford. Well, he took scraps from his car factory and turned them into briquettes. How brilliant is that? And then this guy named Heinz, he said, well, we can't have barbecues without barbecue sauce, so he made this barbecue sauce, and everybody just loved it. So they started selling it all over the nation. And then, back in the 50s, there was this guy, George Stephen, and he worked for the Weber brothers, and he was making these buoys for the Coast Guard. He decided to cut one in half and make a barbecue out of it, which pretty much became the most popular barbecue in history. And then in the 60s, there was these guys, and they had gas. And they thought, what if we took the gas and hooked it up to our barbecue? We could cook faster, more efficiently, and we wouldn't get that black stuff all over our hands. The people over there in Japan, they had this oven called Kamado, and it was made of clay and stuff like that. It was really cool. Now this guy, Ed Fisher from Tucker, Georgia, he thought that was a really swell idea, so he made one. He painted it green and called it the Big Green Egg. Around the turn of the century, grills and smokers that burn pellets started to get really popular. Matter of fact, they're everywhere. There's so many options, and now have all these really cool digital controls and everything. It just makes it a lot easier to impress your friends. So that's it. There's all these great options these days for cooking great food. Whether you like things smoked or steamed or grilled, or maybe all of the above. There's nothing wrong with having more than one barbecue as far as I'm concerned. And then there's the other thing. You know, it's still about enjoying great food with your friends and family. That's why we sometimes affectionately refer to it as one of our favorite pastimes.